Hi, I'm Tyrone Huntley. Thanks for watching Theatre News.
Okay, Tyrone Huntley, it's great to see you. How are you doing today?
Hi, I'm doing very well, thank you. Thanks for having me.
That is an absolute pleasure. You're about to return to the role of Judas in Jesus Christ Superstar at Regent's Park Open Air Theatre. What's drawn you back to the role?
Well, it's such an epic role, and it's sort of the biggest role that I've ever done in my career since I started. And it was such a successful run last year that when I was offered the chance to go back, I just couldn't really say no. So many amazing things have happened for me since I did it last year that it's sort of like a nice way to round off the year by returning and sort of finishing the sort of journey.
Yeah, I mean, you're rehearsing in Hammersmith at the moment. How's that progressing?
It's really, really cool. It's quite strange because a lot of the cast is new, because people that did it last year were unavailable, and you know it's different this year. So it's definitely a different energy, but like everyone's so amazing, and just watching them all do the dancing and all that kind of stuff. And then we did a sing through yesterday of the whole show, and it just sounds incredible. So it's different, but it's going to be really, really great.
Do you know when you've got a good cast around you?
I think so. Yeah, you walk into the room and you do the introductions, and then you start watching people work, and you just get a feeling this is going to be a really, really good vibe, and we've definitely got that.
Good. And you're also playing CC in Dreamgirls with Amber Riley.
I was playing CC. Yeah. That was an incredible experience as well. Dreamgirls is one of those shows that, you know, it was on Broadway 35 years ago, and it hasn't been to London since. So to be in the original cast when it finally got over here, it was really, really quite special. So it was a great experience.
What was the sort of the hardest part of the role for you there?
I think I had to dance, which I'm not a strong dancer. I'm a mover, and there was a number where I had to do some quite intricate dancing, so that was difficult. But I think, as a role, it was actually something that I settled into quite nicely, quite early on in the process. You know, I didn't have a lot of lines to learn, and I sung a couple of songs, so it wasn't a great, you know, workload in that respect. So it was quite a nice little job.
Good. How do you warm up then? Have you got a normal sort of routine?
So usually with most shows we have a group warm up before we start the show. So we'll go to work at like 6 and have a warm up for half an hour. We'll do a physical warm up with the dance captain, and then we'll do a vocal warm up with the musical director. But then, you know, people have their own personal things that they do, maybe before that warm up or after it, just before we start getting ready for the show. I personally have a warm up that I got from my singing teacher that I do just to keep things safe and make sure that I'm keeping an eye on what's going on physically, you know, in my larynx and all that kind of stuff.
Course,
so yeah.
I mean, you've had big roles in major musicals the last few years. Which characters have been your favourites?
Wow. I think Judas is obviously, it's the biggest role that I've ever played, and it's the most material that I've had to learn, the most difficult sing that I've ever done. So that as a challenge was really, really great to sort of sink my teeth into. But I've enjoyed all the jobs that I've done. When I did Memphis a few years ago, I played a part called Gator, and that was a really, really sweet little role, and I got to sing a really great song in it. And yeah, Seaweed and Hairspray was cool, and TJ and Sister Act, which was my first job, it was really, really great. So I mean,
you've got a lot of very good roles. I mean, how do you come by these?
I don't know. I've just been incredibly lucky. A lot of it's to do with timing. When I leave a job, there just happens to be the job that's come along quite soon afterwards, and I've sort of been on a roll for the past few years. Working with some incredible people on the creative teams that have sort of done multiple jobs that I've worked on, so they know me, so I'll go into the audition room and they immediately know that, you know, they perhaps like working with me, so it's, you know, so that kind of thing. But you know, I've been very, very lucky timing wise that it's all sort of fit.
Yeah, and I mean, you won the Evening Standard Emerging Talent Award last year. You just won the Best Actor at Mousetrap Awards, as well as being Olivia nominated. You know, do you sometimes pinch yourself to think how much you've achieved in this space of time? Yeah,
it's been crazy, especially this past year because of Jesus Christ Superstar. It's all sort of, you know, it's been a whirlwind of crazy accolades and things like that. It's been really, really great. And I do sometimes have to sort of like sit back and think, wow, it's actually happening. When I was training at Mount View, you're sort of surrounded by incredibly talented people, but you're constantly told that, it's a really difficult industry to get into. So only a handful of you will actually do this for a living and want to continue doing it, because, there's a lot of rejection and all that kind of thing. So to actually be sitting here having had a 6-year strong career in this industry is quite unbelievable. When I think back to leaving Mount View and thinking that I'd never get one job. So yeah, it's
and
cool.
being recognised
and so it's really, really cool.
I mean, what is it about musical theatre that keeps you wanting to come back?
I think for me, since I was younger, singing has been a really big part of my life. I never really considered doing it for a living until I was a teenager, but I've always loved to sing, and I'd always, listen to music, Michael Jackson and Whitney Houston and Mariah Carey, when I was a kid. So being able to sing and act at the same time is such a special thing. So I think musical theatre's a nice place to be, where you can sort of do all the things, dancing as well. It's just a great combination of all the sections of the art. So it's really cool.
I mean, if you had to pick 3 songs then from all of those jobs that you've had, your favourite 3 songs on the spot, I know. What would you say?
I'd probably say "Heaven on Their Minds" from Jesus Christ Superstar, just because I performed that over the past year. I performed that so much, at award ceremonies and at West End Live. I did a couple of weeks ago, and it's such an amazing, powerful song, and it's great. I can show off in it as well. Like I can, belt and it's really cool. So that one definitely great. In Memphis, I played a mute who didn't speak for the first pretty much the entire Act 1. And at the end of Act 1, he sang a song called "Say a Prayer," which was quite a poignant moment in the piece, where the lead character's been attacked, been the victim of a racially motivated attack. So, and it's sort of a song about hoping for change, and that it's not always going to be that way. And I think that was quite an emotional song that will always sort of hold close to my heart.
Yeah.
And let me think. I'm trying to remember the shows that I've done. Dreamgirls, Family is a really Dreamgirls was such a great show to be a part of, and the people that I was working with, the company was so amazing, and we all got on really, really well, and it sort of fit that the song, one of the big songs in the show was "Family," and that's the song that I got to sing, and it was about how through thick and thin we can stick together and we can enjoy life together, and that sort of was a great song to sing.
Fantastic, great choices. You have a first-class honours degree in musical theatre.
Yes.
But you just saying there that you didn't always... When did you really know that, right, this is my career?
So, when I was 16, I was encouraged by a friend of mine to enter a singing competition in Lincoln, a local singing competition. It's called the Wow Factor. It's quite a big deal. And I won. And it was unexpected, but also it sort of put that in my mind that I could actually go on stage and people would enjoy watching me, and that I could actually, perhaps do it for a living. So at 16, when that happened, I moved schools to a performing arts specialist school that had their own theatre, and I studied drama there while I was doing my A-levels, and my teacher sort of encouraged me to apply for drama school, which I'd never really considered as an option, because I was always going to go to university and study law or something rigorous like that. So I applied to drama school and got in and got a scholarship, and that sort of made my mind up for me, really. I could go and train and do something that I enjoy doing and not end up in lots of debt, and see what happens. And if it doesn't work out, then I can always go back and study if I wanted to, and that's sort of what I did eventually.
Yeah.
When I was in the Book of Mormon, I decided to see if I could study law, because it's one of those difficult subjects that you sort of it's a lot of hard work, and I just wanted to see if I could do it. So I decided to do what's called a graduate diploma in law.
Yeah.
I did that through the University of Huddersfield, but I did it like distance learning, so I didn't actually go to university. I did it all sort of like self-taught in a way, reading and doing online lessons and things like that, and I graduated from that with a distinction.
Yeah, incredible.
So that was amazing as well, and I sort of managed over a few years to do it all. So I managed to do the drama training and then go and do the law training, and it was sort of best of both worlds.
Yeah, I mean, you're clearly a very hard worker and very good at what you do.
Thank you. It was a lot. It was 2.5 years, and it was really. It was difficult. It was difficult. Very, very time consuming, but I got there in the end. And
absolutely. But what are your acting ambitions then?
My acting ambitions, I suppose I just want to do everything. Musical theatre has sort of been the predominant factor in my career so far, but I'd love to do plays. I'd love to try TV and film and things like that. You know, acting is such a vast medium that you can do it, you know, through in so many ways. So it'd be nice to sort of have a go at everything.
Yeah, you got firm ground in now, absolutely. And you're a keen singer-songwriter as well.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not as confident in that respect. I do write songs. I haven't published any yet or recorded any, but we'll see how it goes.
Thinking about an album at some point?
Maybe in the future at some point, but what I'd really like to do is write for other people, because I'm not really keen on doing the whole recording thing. Maybe I will be in a few years' time, but my confidence in that respect isn't great. But I'd love to write for other people. So
yeah. Your own sort of song? What sort of genre are we talking?
It sort of mixes between like soul and R&B, and sometimes if I'm feeling confident, I'll have a go at the whole musical theatre sort of style. I'm not very good at that, but yeah, it's definitely got like a soul grounding. Excellent. Foundation.
Away from the stage, what do you get up to?
At the minute, it's sort of all been work, but I try to sort of get out there. I used to do gymnastics, but I got really, really weak wrists, so I can't really do that anymore. And I'm currently trying to teach myself piano. I had a teacher last year, but he moved away. Well, yeah, absolutely. I would show you, but you'd be very, very disappointed. Yeah, so that's sort of first thing on my list. I'm adamant that over the next couple of years I will learn a language. Spanish is first on my list, but it's just finding the time, and you know, finding time to even go over there and maybe spend some time over there. But we'll see.
My word, you like to keep busy then?
I do, sure. I do, yeah.
And I mean, what other roles have you got lined up in the future?
Well, after JCS, I'm sort of I'm free from September. We finished Jesus Christ Superstar, so I've not got anything in the pipeline just yet. But you know, who knows what's going to happen? That's the thing about this industry. You could get called up one day and be filming like the next week. So it's all. That's what's exciting about it.
Or you could pop over to Spain and start learning Spanish.
That is a very good idea, and I might just do that. Yeah.
Good stuff. Well, thank you very much for your time.
Thanks for having me. Thank you.
Why should everyone come out and see Jesus Christ Superstar?
It's the music is incredible. It was written nearly 50 years ago now by Andrew Lloyd Webber and Tim Rice, but Tom Deering, our musical director, conductor of the band, has just gone in and made it feel like it was written yesterday. So to see that alone, to see how we've managed to sort of bring it into the 21st century and make it so current musically, I'd say is a good reason to come and see it. But other than that, it's just a great piece. Everyone's so talented in it. The dancing's amazing. The choreography is brilliant. Drew McConey did that. The direction by Tim Sheeder is also great, telling the story. in a sort of the way that we've done it is we've sort of gone back to the roots, because when it was first originally done, it was a concept album, so it wasn't supposed to be on the stage. So what we've done is we've changed it up and made it more of a rock concert feel, festival feel. So even if you don't like musical theatre, it's a way to sort of go and see a musical without it being a musical. It's more like a concert. So that's an exciting thing about it. And I just think, just seeing everyone's just so amazing in it. Declan Bennett, who plays Jesus, is a great sort of protagonist to work with as Judas. Everyone's so talented, so it's definitely going to be worth it. Also, it's outside at Regent's Park. You never quite know what you're going to get. It could rain, it could be unbearably hot, but we sort of do the show anyway, and the audience always loves it. So yeah, that's cool as well.
Fantastic. No, it sounds amazing. Well, thank you very much for your time.
Thank you.
Anything else to say to Theatre News viewers?
Come and see the show. It's a great experience. You have my word that you will be thoroughly entertained, if I do say so myself. And it's a great show. So come and see it.
Fantastic. Thank you very much indeed.
Cheers. Thank you.
Pleasure. Thanks.